师他们起的那个名字我念不出来。
来了，咕噜来了。Hare Krishna。Hare Krishna。他的Mukhi马拉姐。
哦，我现在在找。哦，我找呢，稍等，稍等。
你点。
哦。
您，哎，好了。
哦，学上了，学上了。早上好，咕噜马拉姐。
早上好。Hare Krishna。
Hare Krishna。
Lisa的阿妈，顶拜年 Hare Krishna。
顶拜你们 Hare Krishna。Okay, one more kaisha. Om Jnanatamrandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksuranmilitanyena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhaivacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We're reading Brihad Bhagavatamrita, and we're hearing how Narada Muni is searching for the person who received the greatest mercy from Lord Krishna.
我们在阅读的这本书是《大博伽坛甘露》。我们听到Narada Muni他正在寻找，到底是谁得到了主 Krishna 最大的仁慈。
So Narada Muni had gone to Indra, and then Indra sent him to Brahma, and now Brahma has sent him to Shiva.
Narada Muni 呢，就后来被指向了 Indra 天帝 Indra， 又把他介绍给了 Brahma， 然后 Brahma 呢又介绍他去找主 Shiva。
So Narada Muni came to Kailash, Lord Shiva's abode, and Lord Shiva was there. He was doing Sankirtan, and he was in ecstasy.
主 Shiva 在海拉什山，他正在从事 Sankirtan 齐颂圣名，他处在狂喜当中了。
So Narada Muni was very happy to see Lord Shiva in this condition, and he came closer. He wanted to take the dust from the lotus feet of Lord Shiva.
Narada Muni 看到主 Shiva 这个景象，感到内心十分高兴，他就走进了主 Shiva， 希望触碰主 Shiva 的莲花足。
So when Narada came near to Lord Shiva, suddenly Narada came close and he embraced Lord Shiva. He actually wanted to take the dust from his feet, but he ended up embracing Lord Shiva.
Narada 本来想触碰主 Shiva 的莲花足，但是他接近主 Shiva 之后呢，他就拥抱了主 Shiva。
And Lord Shiva asked Narada Muni, he said, my dear son of Brahma, what are you saying?
主 Shiva 对 Narada Muni 说：“我亲爱的 Brahma 的儿子啊，您在说什么呢？”
Narada Muni had been saying that you have received the greatest mercy from Lord Krishna.
因为之前 Narada Muni 就对主 Shiva 说：“是您得到了主 Krishna 最大的仁慈。”
So Lord Shiva was shocked to hear Narada Muni say like that to him.
当主 Shiva 听到 Narada Muni 是这样对他说话，他感到很震惊。
And at first, Lord Shiva just found, he was thinking what Narada Muni was saying to him was very difficult to understand.
一开始主师了是不明白拿尔穆尼对他在说什么，因为他搞不懂他在说什么。
So Lord Shiva stopped playing, he stopped his kirtan, and he was dancing and chanting, but seeing Narada Muni come there, Lord Shiva stopped his kirtan and he sat down.
主师了一开始是载歌载舞，在那里批判，但是他现在停了下来。
And he sat down, he had a kusha mat, special kusha grass, and he sat in his special asana. He sits in a posture called the Vir Asana.
主师了就在一个库萨草垫上坐了下来，然后他就他的坐姿被称为是 Rishi 坐姿。
That Vir Asana is called the hero posture.
这种坐姿被称为是英雄坐姿。
And Lord Shiva sat down surrounded by a few of his companions. And Narada Muni came and bowed in front of Lord Shiva and chanted a Shiva mantra.
主师吧坐了下来，他的四周呢就坐着他的同游，然后拿尔穆尼就上来，他就开始唱诵主师吧给主师吧的 mantra。
So it said when people make a serious vow to do something, they should sit for meditation. They should sit in this hero posture.
就说当一个人处在冥想当中的时候呢，他就应该以这种坐姿就坐在那里冥想。
This asana, that posture, it shows a person's firm determination to do something.
当一个人成这种坐姿的时候，这就表示他已经下定了决心要做一件。
And the Shiva mantra, which Narada Muni chanted, it's from the Vedas, and it began with the words Namaste.
拿尔穆尼念诵的这个 mantra 是出自《韦达经》，他以 Namaste 开始。
So Narada Muni began to recite prayers glorifying Lord Shiva, glorifying him as the supreme controller of the universe.
拿尔穆尼就赞扬主师吧是宇宙的至高无上的控制者。
And Narada Muni went on to describe how Lord Shiva had received a lot of mercy from Lord Krishna.
拿尔穆尼继续描述主师吧从主 Krishna 那里得到了许多仁慈。
But Narada Muni praising Lord Shiva made Lord Shiva angry.
但是拿尔穆尼对主师吧的这番赞美，却使主师吧变得生气了。
And Lord Shiva, he covered his ears and he didn't want to hear what Narada Muni was saying.
主师吧就堵住了自己的耳朵，不想再听拿尔穆尼说下去。
Now, Lord Shiva would say, Vaishnavam Yata Shambhu, that Lord Shiva is the best of all the Vaishnavas.
主西瓦被称为是 Vaishnava 的方桑布，是 Vaishnava 中的佼佼者。
He's considered the greatest Vaishnava because he starts the teaching. He began the teaching of pure devotional service.
他之所以被称为最优秀的 Vaishnava， 是因为他传播的是纯粹的 Vaishnava 教育。
And he began his own sampradaya, the Rudra Sampradaya.
他开创了最深的使徒传系 Rudra Sampradaya，
It's one of the 4 authorized Vaishnava Sampradayas.
是4个正宗的 Vaishnava 使徒传系之一。
Actually, Lord Shiva is more famous as a Vaishnava than he is as an incarnation of Vishnu.
事实上，主 Shiva 以一位 Vaishnava 而驰名遐迩，这种名声更高于他作为主 Vishnu 的化身的名声。
So Lord Shiva said to Narada Muni in an angry way, he said to him, I am not the Lord of the universe, and am not an object of Krishna's mercy.
主 Shiva 以一种愤怒的、以一种气愤的心态对 Narada Muni 说道：“我不是宇宙之主，我不是，也不是主 Krishna 仁慈的对象。”
I am just a poor soul who always wants the favor of this. I want to be blessed by the servants of the servants.
我只是一个可怜的灵魂，我总是渴求他的仆人的仁慈。
In other words, Lord Shiva is saying that I want to get the mercy of Krishna's servants, but I'm not fortunate enough to get it.
换言之，主 Shiva 想表达的意思是，我想获得主 Krishna 的仆人的仁慈，但是我还没有这份幸运，我没有足够的幸运得到它。
So when Narada Muni heard all this, then Narada Muni was shocked. And Narada Muni, he thought he must have done something offensive.
Narada Muni 听到主 Shiva 的回答，感到十分震惊，他认为自己做了冒犯。
So then Narada Muni, he stopped praising Lord Shiva's, he stopped praising Lord Shiva as being non-different from Krishna. And he began to speak in a soft voice.
Narada Muni 停止赞扬主 Shiva 和主 Krishna 没有区别，他开始以一种柔和的声音说话。
Because initially he'd been broadcasting, he'd been speaking loudly and telling everyone.
因为一开始 Narada Muni 是正在传扬，并且希望众人皆知。
But now he's speaking in a soft voice. It's more confidential.
但是他现在声音就变得柔和了下来，他想跟主 Shiva 更加亲密的交谈。
So Narada Muni says to Lord Shiva, they said, you definitely know the confidential and mysterious glories of Lord Vishnu and all the Vaishnavas.
你肯定知道主 Vishnu 和 Vaishnava 的最机密的和神秘的荣耀。
And you're also expert to explain about all of these things.
你也擅长精通解释这些荣耀。
Actually, the greatness of the Supreme Lord and his devotees is limitless.
事实上，主及其奉献者的荣耀是无穷无尽的。
And it's only by the help of people like Lord Shiva and other great Vaishnava acharyas that were able to understand these things.
只有透过像主师吧和其他 Vaishnava Acharya 宗师们的帮助，我们才能理解。
So Narada is hoping that Lord Shiva will accept praise on this account, that he is the greatest Vaishnava.
那的希望至少主师吧能够接受他作为最伟大的 Vaishnava 的赞誉。
So Narada Muni says to Lord Shiva, he says, the best Vaishnavas always want to get your mercy.
那的穆尼继续说道：“最优秀的 Vaishnava 总是渴求您的仁慈。”
And Lord Krishna also has great respect for you, and Lord Krishna is always spreading your glories.
主 Krishna 也总是在传播您的荣耀。
So Krishna spreads the fame of Lord Shiva, sometimes through his representatives, and sometimes he does it himself.
主 Krishna 有的时候是通过他的代表来传播主 Shiva 的荣耀，有的时候甚至亲自来传播主 Shiva 的荣耀。
Krishna has, Narada Muni tells Lord Shiva, he says, Krishna worshipped you many times in his different incarnations.
那尔的穆尼对主 Shiva 说道：“主 Krishna 曾经以他各种各样的化身，很多次的崇拜了你。”
And Krishna has also even taken many blessings or boons from you.
主 Krishna 甚至从您那里得到很多赐福。
We can see examples of Lord Krishna getting boons from Lord Shiva. You have to read a book called the Vamana Purana.
那我们可以从一本书称为《Vamana Purana》（Vamana 往事书）当中，可以了解到主 Krishna，主 Shiva 对主 Krishna 的赐福。
There it describes how Lord Krishna got the Sudarshan Chakra and how also he got Samba as his son.
在 Vamana 往事书当中描述说，圣主 Krishna 是从主 Shiva 那里得到了神蝶，以及得到了 Samba 这个儿子。
So that's a blessing, by the blessings of Lord Shiva, he got all these things.
所以主 Shiva 主 Krishna 是透过主 Shiva 的仁慈祝福，才得到了神蝶和儿子 Samba。
So when Lord Shiva heard this, he got really upset.
可知主 Shiva 听完之后，他真的变得生气了。
He felt ashamed, and he jumped up on jumped to his feet, stood up, and he covered Narada Muni's mouth with both hands, and he told him, "Don't ever mention that foolishness of mine."
主 Shiva 他就再也听不下去了，他感到羞愧难当，他就一下子猛地站了起身，然后他就双手堵住了纳尔达的嘴，然后说道：“你再也不要提我的这件蠢事儿了。”
Lord Shiva felt ashamed. He was embarrassed to be reminded that he had given benedictions to Krishna.
主 Shiva 为自己曾经 赐福主 Krishna 这件事呢，感到非常的羞愧难当。
So then Lord Shiva said to Narada Muni, he said, just look at the incomprehensible power of the pastimes of the Lord.
主 Shiva 就对 Narada Muni 说道：“你去看一看至尊主这个逍遥时光这个难以理解的力量吧。”
So Lord Shiva he wants to turn Narada Muni's attention to look at Lord Krishna, not to look at Lord Shiva.
主 Shiva 希望把 Narada Muni 的那个话题转向主 Krishna， 而不是转向他自己。
So Lord Shiva is pointing out to Narada Muni about the wonderful powers of the pastimes of Lord Krishna.
主 Shiva 希望能够Narada Muni 能够指出关注至尊主的逍遥时光的这个神奇所在。
Yeah, and when Lord Krishna does his pastimes with his devotees, Lord Krishna will sometimes he will make different vows, and he will do penances, just to get the blessings of the devotees.
至尊主他有的时候，为了得到他的奉献者的祝福，他有时候会从事严厉的苦行，或者发下重誓。
So Lord Shiva says, "My Lord," meaning Lord Krishna, is so sober, is like a deep ocean of great qualities.
主 Shiva 继续说，我的主是庄重的、严肃的，他就像一个巨大的、有着很多优秀品质的汪洋大海。
And Lord Shiva said, even though I committed many offenses against him, he still does not reject me.
主 Shiva 说，尽管我曾经多次对他做出了冒犯，但是他没有抛弃我。
So just like the ocean, if you go swimming in the ocean, you can never reach the bottom of the ocean.
倘若一个人到大海中游泳，他永远就无法测量这个海洋的深度。
It's not possible for us to go swimming and know everything about the ocean.
对我们来说，在大海当中畅游，对大海了如指掌，这是不可能的事。
And the ocean cannot move from its place. It's going to stay in its place. It's fixed.
大海也不会，到另外一个地方。大海是在一个地方固定不移的。
And the other shore of the ocean, you know, you stand at one shore of the ocean, you cannot see the shore of the other side. It's so far away.
谁要站在这个海岸一边，他眺望大海，他是一眼望不到头，看不见海的对岸。
So Krishna's qualities are like the ocean. They're countless.
Krishna 的品质就像汪洋大海，无穷无尽，无以计数。
And Krishna has every possible kind of great quality.
Krishna 拥有任何一种伟大的品质。
And his qualities are in unlimited quantity.
它的品质的数量是无穷無盡的，無極無限的。
So Lord Shiva, he considers himself to be offensive because he he was showing off his own power before Lord Krishna.
主 Shiva 认为自己是做了冒犯，因为他就是班门弄斧，在主 Krishna 面前炫耀自己的力量。
And Lord Shiva is offering Krishna, he's giving Krishna benedictions.
主 Shiva 竟然给 Krishna 祝福。
And other offenses Lord Shiva had also committed against Krishna were too painful for him to remember.
主 Shiva 对主 Krishna 做出的其他的冒犯，他自己就是太痛苦了，都无法来回忆。
But Lord Krishna never considers Lord Shiva to be offensive.
但是Krishna 从来不认为主 Shiva 所做的事情是冒犯的。
And Lord Shiva only acts in this world in order to spread the cause of Krishna's devotional service.
主 Shiva 在这个世界上的所作所为，仅仅是为了来传播主 Krishna 的奉爱服务的事业。
Lord Shiva encourages people in devotional service, both directly and indirectly.
主 Shiva 直接或间接的来鼓励人们从事奉爱服务。
So Lord Shiva was completely absorbed in pure devotional service for Krishna. So Narada Muni was very pleased to see this.
主 Shiva 是完全专注于对主 Krishna 的奉爱服务 ，Narada 他对此感到十分满意。
So Narada Muni took he took hold of Lord Shiva's feet and he made him sit down again.
所以 Narada Muni 便紧紧地抓住主 Shiva 的双足，使主 Shiva 再次坐了下来。
And Narada Muni wants to satisfy Lord Shiva. He wants to convince that Lord Shiva is very dear to Krishna.
Narada Muni 就希望能让主 Shiva 内心高兴，想说服他，主 Krishna 对他确实十分亲切。
So Narada Muni says to Lord Shiva, he said, "You are so dear to the Lord."
Narada Muni 对主 Shiva 说道：“您对主是如此的亲爱。”
And Narada Muni said, "I don't think it's possible you could ever offend him."
Narada Muni 说：“我认为您不可能冒犯他。”
People sometimes see what some people may see what they may think you are being offensive, but Krishna never sees that.
有的人也许认为您做了冒犯，把它看成是您的冒犯行为，但是主本人从来不这样看待这件事情。
Just like there's a great devotee of Lord Shiva whose name is Bana, and Bana was giving a lot of trouble for saintly people.
比如主 Shiva 有一位奉献者叫 Bana， 他给许多的圣人制造了麻烦。
And Bana had 1,000 arms, and he was very strong. He was very proud of the strength of all of his arms.
Bana 有1000条臂膀，他对自己的力量感到十分傲慢、骄傲自大。
So Bana had a daughter named Usha, and somehow it happened that Lord Krishna's grandson Aniruddha, he got involved in a very loving relationship with Banasura's daughter.
巴那摩他有一名貌美的女儿 Usha， 而主 Krishna 的孙子 Aniruddha 呢，不知怎的就跟巴那摩的女儿有了恋情。
So this Bana used magic and he arrested Aniruddha and put him in his prison.
巴那摩就使用幻术逮捕了阿尼鲁达，投进了监狱。
So Krishna came with his army to fight Bana to get Aniruddha free.
Krishna 就率领军队前来和巴那摩作战，释放了他的阿尼鲁达。
And Bana fought, and Lord Shiva was also there. Lord Shiva was also staying at Bana's house, and Lord Shiva fought for Banasura against Lord Krishna.
主 Shiva 呢，他就站在巴那摩一边，他就帮助巴那摩和主 Krishna 作战。
So it happened that Bana, who is a devotee of Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva had maintained Bana just like he was his son.
巴那是主 Shiva 的奉献者，而主 Shiva 对待巴那摩就像自己的儿子一样，维系着他。
So this Bana was fighting against Lord Krishna, and Lord Krishna was going to kill him. So at that time Lord Shiva came and offered prayers to save the life of Bana.
巴那摩和主 Shiva 作战的时候呢，他差点就被杀了。这时候主 Shiva 就出现了，就向主开始供奉祷文。
So when Lord Shiva began to offer prayers, then Lord Krishna he stopped his anger and he didn't kill Bana.
然后主 Shiva 呢，由于主 Shiva 向主 Krishna 献上祷文，所以主 Krishna 就平息了怒气，就没有杀巴那。
And instead, what Krishna did was he cut off his arms and he just left him with 4 arms, so that he had a 4-arm form, just like Krishna has a 4-arm form.
最后，主 Krishna 他就把巴那摩的那个1000个臂膀呢都一一砍掉，只给他留下了4臂，就像留下了4臂的形象。
And Krishna gave him a benediction. He gave Bana a benediction that he would always stay in the association of Lord Shiva and be one of his associates.
主 Krishna 就赐福了巴那摩，祝福他总是始终的成为主 Shiva 的一位同游，待在他身边。
So this was a great benediction which Shiva gave to Bana.
所以这个是 Shiva 给巴那的一个祝福。
To be an associate of Lord Shiva, that's very difficult even for other demigods.
成为主 Shiva 的同游，甚至其他的半神人也得不到这种赐福。
Actually, Lord Krishna was ready to kill Banasura. He'd already picked up his Sudarshan chakra and he was going to kill Banasura.
事实上，主 Shiva、主 Krishna 呢，他已经举起了他的神碟，准备杀掉巴那摩。
But just at that moment, Lord Shiva came and offered prayers.
就在此紧要关头，主 Shiva 出现了，就开始向主 Krishna 献上祈祷。
So Bana had made many offenses against Lord Vishnu and the devotees.
巴那摩之前曾经对主 Vishnu 和那些 Vaishnava 做了许多的种种冒犯。
But he had one credit, he had one thing in his favor, and that was that he was a sincere devotee of Lord Shiva.
但是巴那摩他有一个优点，他是主 Shiva 的真诚的奉献者。
So his devotion to Lord Shiva created a good impression on Lord Krishna.
巴那对主 Shiva 的奉爱，就给主 Krishna 留下深刻的印象。
So it was arranged, he gave Bana a 4-arm form, which is just like Krishna has.
他就给了巴纳一个4臂的形象，就像 Krishna 的自己的形象。
And then Lord Krishna told Lord Shiva, he said, this demon, Bana, he still has 4 arms. He said he's not going to, he will also, we also bless him that he will not get old, he will not suffer old age and death, and he will serve as one of your assistants.
圣主 Krishna 告诉主 Shiva 说道：“这名恶魔，他还有4个臂膀，他将不会经历老年和死亡，他将作为你的主要同游和侍从，服务你。”
So this, he will not have to fear anything. He doesn't have to be afraid of anything.
所以他没有什么可以担心的，不用害怕。
And when the enemies of the Vaishnavas, such as Gargya, worship Lord Shiva by great penances, then Lord Shiva gives them benedictions. The benediction he gives them benedictions which have some loopholes in them. It means some ways of getting out of the benedictions. He gives them benedictions which, there's a way to get round them, to avoid.
就当像 Gargya 这样的 Vaishnava 的仇敌，通过严酷的苦行崇拜您的时候，您给予他们的祝福呢，将会有办法可以绕过这些祝福。
Right. So this person Gargya and other people who are against the Pandavas and against the Yadavas, they were all this Gargya and others, they're enemies of the Pandavas and the Yadavas. And the Pandavas and the Yadavas are all devotees, they're all Vaishnavas.
Gargya 和其他的人，他们对亚达瓦和潘达瓦，他们总是怀着敌意，而亚达瓦和潘达瓦都是坚定的 Vaishnava。
So this person Gargya and other people, they worship Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva gave them the boons they wanted, but he made some conditions which protected the devotees.
Gargya 和其他的人呢，崇拜了主 Shiva， 主 Shiva 呢，赏赐了他们想要的祝福，但是呢，这些祝福是有前提条件的。
So this person Gargya, he was a learned son of the great sage Garga.
Gargya 是圣人 Garga 的博学的儿子。
And this Garga was very proud of his knowledge.
Garga 为自己的学识感到十分的骄傲。
So by Lord Shiva's blessings, Gargya got a son.
藉着主 Shiva 的祝福 ，Gargya 获得一个儿子。
But he did not get a son who could destroy the Yadu dynasty, which is what Gargya wanted.
但是，他并没有得到一个他想要的能够摧毁亚度王朝的儿子。
But he got a son who could put fear into the hearts of the Yadus and cause a lot of trouble for the Yadus.
他得到这名儿子，可以使亚度族人内心感到恐惧，给亚度族人造成了麻烦。
But he couldn't destroy the Yadus.
他却无法摧毁亚度族人。
And then also Jayadratha, he also got a boon from Lord Shiva.
Jayadratha 也得到了主 Shiva 的祝福。
Jayadratha got a blessing, a benediction that one time he could defeat each of the Pandavas, except for Arjuna.
他得到的祝福是，他可以有一度打败每个潘达瓦，除了Arjuna之外，他可以打败他们每个人一次。
And then Sudakshina, he was allowed to destroy any enemy of his choice who was not a proper follower of Brahminical culture.
Sudakshina 也被允许，去毁灭他选择的任何一个敌人，而这名敌人呢，并没有正确的遵守婆罗门文化。
So these pastimes they tell about these unfortunate devotees of Lord Shiva, and they're all told in different scriptures. Some are in the Bhagavatam and some are in other books.
这些小时光就描述了主 Shiva 的这些可怜的追随者，他们的命运在不同的经典，有的是在博伽瓦坛，有的是在往事书当中描述了他们的这些故事。
So Narada Muni is telling all of this to Lord Shiva. He wants to describe the glories of Lord Shiva.
Narada Muni 之所以来陈述这些故事，是为了荣耀主 Shiva。
So now Narada Muni next he's going to speak about Chitraketu. And Chitraketu he'd criticized Lord Shiva.
接下来 Narada Muni 又提到了 Chitraketu。Chitraketu 呢，曾经一度批评过主 Shiva。
Because Lord Shiva was sitting with Parvati, his wife, one day, and he was embracing her, and he was sitting in front of an assembly of many other great men. So when Chitraketu saw this, he laughed.
Narada Muni 呢，就在众圣人面前呢，看见主 Shiva 众目睽睽之下拥抱着他的妻子，所以 Chitraketu 就批评了他。
But Lord Shiva never got angry at Chitraketu.
但是主 Shiva 从来没有对 Chitraketu 感到生气。
Lord Shiva knew that they were surrendered devotees of Lord Krishna.
主 Shiva 知道 Chitraketu 是主 Krishna 的臣服的奉献者。
Of course, it is foolish for people to criticize Lord Shiva.
当然 谁要胆敢批评主 Shiva， 他这真是很愚蠢。
When Chitraketu made this mistake, when he said this about Lord Shiva, at that time he was not yet a pure Vaishnava.
当 Chitraketu 犯这种错误的时候，他那时候还不是一位纯粹的 Vaishnava。
If he had been a pure Vaishnava, he would not have criticized Lord Shiva.
倘若他是一名纯粹的 Vaishnava， 他就不会批评主 Shiva 了。
But Chitraketu, even as a new devotee, he had a connection with Lord Shiva.
但 Chitraketu 尽管是一个新奉献者，他和主 Shiva 却有着关联。
He had Chitraketu had a connection with Lord. Chitraketu had a connection with Lord Shesha. Lord Shesha is the expansion of Lord Krishna.
Chitraketu 王和主 Shesha 有着关联，而主 Shesha 是圣主 Krishna 的扩展。
Actually, Shesha comes from Lord Balaram, and Lord Balaram is the expansion of Lord Krishna.
事实上，主 Shiva 主 Shesha 是来自于主 Balarama， 而 Balarama 是圣主 Krishna 的第一个扩展。
So Lord Shiva was not offended by Chitraketu laughing at him.
主 Shiva 并没有因为 Chitraketu 王嘲笑他而感到冒犯。
No, just because Lord Shiva had Parvati sitting on his knee in the presence of so many great sages, Lord Shiva didn't get offended. He didn't get angry.
当时，主Parvati 就坐在主 Shiva 的腿上，是在众圣人面前。但是主 Shiva 没有因为 Chitraketu 王笑话他而感到生气。
Right. So another time, Narada Muni is telling, he said, another time, just to please Lord Krishna, you had the desire to become even greater than Krishna.
那的穆尼说，还有一次，仅仅是为了取悦主 Krishna， 您表达了想要比他还要伟大的愿望。
But then Lord Shiva asked Lord Krishna, he asked him, he said, can you make me your devotee?
接下来，主 Shiva 就问主 Krishna：“ 您能不能把我变成您的奉献者？”
So this was, Lord Shiva actually considered this to be a great offense, that Lord Shiva had said like this to Krishna.
主 Shiva 认为他对主 Krishna 说的这番话，实际上是做了冒犯。
And so just Lord Shiva, somehow he had the desire to be worshipped.
主 Shiva 他有这种想要得到崇拜的愿望。
And Lord Shiva himself is quoted as saying, he says, when I don't receive the worship I wanted, then I serve Lord Hari in devotional service.
主 Shiva 说：“当我没有得到心里想要的崇拜的时候，我就在奉爱服务当中崇拜起主 Hari 了。”
But because of my ego, I want to be even greater than Lord Krishna.
主师傅说，但是出于这个假我想要比Krishna还要伟大。
So Lord Shiva is admitting his own fault.
主师傅就在此承认了自己的错误。
But when Lord Shiva said like that, actually he was only saying like that for Lord Krishna's pleasure.
但主师傅之所以这样说，他只是为了来让主 Krishna 开心。
Yeah, because he thought that Lord Krishna would be pleased if he made a... He thought that Lord Krishna would not be pleased if he... He thought Lord Krishna would not be pleased if he asked that Lord Shiva become his servant.
他认为如果他直截了当的要求成为主 Krishna 的仆人的话，主 Krishna 不会高兴。
So because Krishna is self-sufficient, he doesn't like great devotees like Lord Shiva to be under him.
主 Krishna 他是自足的、自足自立的，所以他不喜欢像主 Shiva 这样的人物，从属于自己。
So Lord Shiva, instead of asking to become the servant, he asked the opposite thing.
因此，主 Shiva 他并没有要求成为主 Krishna 的仆人，相反，他要求了是他提出了恰恰相反的要求。
Krishna already said that his servants are greater than him.
Krishna 已经说过，他的仆人比他自己还要伟大。
The more important than worshipping Krishna is worshipping my devotees, Krishna says.
Krishna 说，比崇拜我更重要的是崇拜我的奉献者。
So Lord Shiva is very clever, so he asked for the greatest position.
主 Shiva 非常的聪颖，所以他祈求了这个最了不起的祝福。
And Lord Shiva also, he had heard how Krishna was playing dice with his queen Rukmini.
主 Shiva 曾经听说，主 Krishna 呢，他有一次跟他的皇后 Rukmini 在玩骰子。
So at that time, Lord Krishna had said that his devotee is more glorious than he is.
在那个场合当中，主 Krishna 就是声明他的奉献者，甚至比他本人更加光荣。
And Krishna is saying like that because he wants that the dice will act as his devotees by serving him nicely.
他之所以这样说，是因为他希望他手中的骰子能够很好的服务他，然后变成他的奉献者。
And then also, Krishna gave you and your wife Durga, they give you both the authority to give liberation.
至尊主还曾经，给你和你的妻子多尔嘎女神，这个权威，让你们能够给予别人以赐福、解脱的赐福。
And that liberation is people like great devotees like Brahma and many other great personalities, they all want to get that kind of liberation, which you can give.
可以给予人们的这个解脱的祝福，是甚至连 Brahma 和其他的人物也都渴求的、祈求的解脱。
And we should understand it's only by the blessings of Lord Vishnu that anybody can get free of birth and death.
我们应当明白，只有藉着主 Vishnu 的祝福，人们才可以摆脱生死轮回。
And Lord Vishnu always follows the scriptures, and that's what it says in the scriptures.
主 Vishnu 他总是遵守经典，而这是经典当中所说的。
But Lord Krishna had promised Lord Shiva a position even better than his own.
但是主 Krishna 甚至向主 Shiva 承诺了一个地位，比他自己的地位还要高。
So that's why Lord Shiva that's why Lord Vishnu gave the power to both Shiva and his wife. He gave them both the power that they can give liberation on his behalf.
主 Vishnu 就给予主 Shiva 和他的妻子这一种赐予解脱，代表他赐予解脱的力量。
So Narada Muni says, just see, you have the power and the opulence which Brahma can never get. Brahma or any other demigods, they can never hope to achieve the power and the opulence which you have.
那他说，看看，你拥有着连那些 Brahma 和其他的半神都无法获得的力量和富裕。
And although you have so much power and opulence, you don't care for it. You don't worry about your material happiness, and you live just like a madman.
尽管你拥有这些富裕和力量，但是你却不在乎他们，你的行为举止就像一个神圣的疯子。
And you're always in a trance of devotion for Lord Vishnu, and you appear like you're mad, like you're crazy.
你专注于自己的奉爱，你表面上好像是疯子一样。
And who else but you will go and dance with his wife and other people, and you're naked?
除了您之外，还有谁会和自己的妻子和他的那些侍从们一起跳舞，而您是在赤身裸体的状态下跳舞？
So Narada Muni says to Shiva, today I have seen your amazing eagerness to serve the Supreme Lord in pure devotion.
拿的穆尼说：“今天我亲眼看见了您在纯粹的奉爱当中服务至尊主的这种无法控制的渴求。”
So no wonder Lord Krishna always loves you the most.
怪不得主 Krishna 最爱您了。
Okay, so we'll stop here today.
好，今天我们的正课就讲到这里。接下来，请问有没有问题可以提出来 ？Right now there's no question right now.
Oh, really? Okay, so we'll keep going. Mm-hmm.
大家有问题可以逐步提上来。
Were there no questions from last night also?
大家就是昨天晚上，这个奉爱的甘露的那课程，如果有什么问题，也可以在 这个周二的早上提，因为以后我们就晚课的时候是泰国奉献者提问的时间，我们中国奉献者都是在周二的早晨回答问题。
Okay, so Lord Shiva, Narada Muni said, I can't say any more. Krishna's love for you is never interrupted.
我还能再说什么呢？ Krishna 对您的爱是从来不会间断的。
And by your mercy, many others have become dear to Lord Krishna.
由于您的仁慈，许多人都变得对主 Krishna 非常亲切了。
So Narada Muni is really amazed that the Lord Shiva, who is the greatest master of yoga discipline, and who's the chief of self-satisfied sages, the husband of material nature, that he doesn't care about any standards of cultural behavior. He doesn't even walk and dance normally. Lord Shiva, his natural appearance, his natural expression of his feelings, well, go ahead. Don't worry about that.
那个呢，就感到十分的惊异。这位最伟大的瑜伽之主，这位最了不起的自我满足的圣人，他还是物质自然的丈夫，他完全无视这种普通的文明举止的标准，他甚至都无法正常的行走和跳舞。
And Lord Shiva's inner feelings, if he exhibits his inner feelings, but if Lord Shiva's inner feelings were exhibited by anyone else, then that person would be considered crazy.
如果主 Shiva 的这种内在感情的表达是任何其他的人来展示出来的话，就不会被认为是可以接受的或正常的。
But Narada Muni, he understands that Lord Shiva's unusual behavior is a sign of his greatness.
那的穆尼明白，主 Shiva 的这番非同寻常的举止是他的伟大的一个征兆。
It's a sign of his greatness as a Vaishnava, and he tastes the ecstasy of devotion with the Supreme Lord.
这是他的无与伦比的伟大的象征。他作为一位伟大 Vaishnava 的象征，他在深深地品尝着奉爱服务的滋味，狂喜。
And that's why other great devotees, people like the 10 Prachetas, they took shelter of Lord Shiva to get Vishnu Bhakti from him.
正是由于这个原因，像10位 Pracheta， 他们在渴求灵性的完美，他们也托庇于主 Shiva 来得到 Vishnu Bhakti。
So now Narada Muni wants to praise also Lord Shiva's wife, Parvati.
现在 Narada Muni 也想赞扬一番主 Shiva 的妻子 Parvati。
And Narada Muni said, by Mother Parvati's mercy, many other people became very dear to Lord Krishna.
Narada Muni 说，由于母亲 Parvati 的仁慈，许多的其他人也变得对主 Krishna 十分的亲爱了。
Mother Parvati knows everything in detail about the real nature of Lord Krishna and also Lord Shiva.
母亲 Parvati 详细的了解主 Krishna 和主 Shiva 的真正本性。
the Pandavas, they can tell of people like Jana Sarma, who got the mercy of Parvati and became a great devotee.
往事书中就讲述了像 Jana Sharma 由于 Parvati 的仁慈成为了伟大的 Vaishnava。
So that story will be told later in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita.
这个故事将在大伯加尔坛干部晚些时候得到讲述。
So,
Now there are questions.
huh?
Now there are 3 questions.
Oh, really? Okay, we'll just go a little more. So Mother Parvati is Krishna's own sister, and she always receives Krishna's affection.
母亲 Parvati 是 Krishna 的亲妹妹，她总是被主 Krishna 深爱着。
And that's why Lord Shiva, that's why Lord Shiva cares for her, even though Lord Shiva is fully satisfied.
正是由于这个原因，主 Shiva 关爱她，尽管主 Shiva 自身已经是彻底满足的。
So Parvati is not different from Yogamaya. And Yogamaya came from the womb of Yashodamai Devidasi.
Parvati 和 Yogamaya 的扩展没有区别，而 Yogamaya 在这个地球上是从亚修达的子宫当中出现的。
And she appeared from the womb of Yashoda Devi at the same time that Krishna was born from Devaki.
在主 Krishna 从 Devaki 的子宫当中降生的时候，Parvati 母亲她也从Yogamaya 的扩展，她也从亚修达的子宫当中显现了。
Okay, so Parvati is like the sister of Krishna.
Parvati 就好像是 Krishna 的妹妹。
And Lord Shiva always gives her pleasure by holding a wonderful festival and singing Lord Vishnu's names and chanting the glories of the Lord.
主 Shiva 总是通过恒常的举办奇妙的节日，唱诵主 Vishnu 的名字和背诵主 Krishna 的荣耀，来给他带来快乐。
So at that time, Parvati enjoys the company of Lord Vishnu's devotees.
在那个时候 ，Parvati 母亲就享受着主 Vishnu 的奉献者的陪伴。
So Lord Shiva was so embarrassed by hearing all this that he lowered his head.
主 Shiva 他感到非常的羞愧，听到自己被赞扬，因此他便低下了头。
And then he prepares to answer Narada Muni.
之后，他准备回答Narada Muni。
So Lord Shiva, first of all, he felt very ashamed to hear himself praised.
首先，主 Shiva 听到自己得到赞扬，他感到十分的羞愧难当。
And then he thought that since what what Narada is actually saying is not true, that Narada must be trying to make a fool of me or to make fun out of me.
主 主 Shiva 想 Narada 这番赞美完全不符合事实， Narada 一定是在嘲弄他。
Okay, so we'll stop here.
那我们听到这里。
So what are the questions?
有一个问题是 Shruti Rupa Devidasi 禀拜 Guru， 我们身边有奉献者反映，这段时间念诵没有力量，都快吃肉了，请问该怎么办？
Funny.
Shruti Rupa, these questions from Shruti Rupa Devidasi, obeisance Guru. There are devotees around us. They say that during this period, their chanting is powerless, no power. They are on the verge of eating meat. So what to do?
They're on the verge of eating meat. Then what, I don't know what's going on. You don't give much information. They say their chanting has no power.
Yes, they are devotees. Maybe they are chanting.
Well, I don't know how you could say there's no power in the holy name of Krishna. If you're not getting power in the holy name of Krishna, it must be due to the offenses which you're committing. So you have to stop committing offenses, and then you can feel the power of the holy name.
您说，念诵圣名没有力量，那一定是由于做出了冒犯，所以应该停止对圣名的冒犯，这样就可以感受到圣名的力量了。
You're thinking of eating meat? That is terrible. That is very sinful to do that.
这些奉献者他们甚至想要吃肉了，这是非常有罪的。这种想法也都是可怕的想法。
Why would you want to eat meat?
为什么要想吃肉呢？
That is, I mean, we have to understand that's really bad if you want to eat meat.
我们必须要明白，想吃肉的这种念头是非常糟糕的念头。
If you're thinking to eat meat, you have not understood anything about Krishna consciousness.
倘若都达到快吃肉的份儿上的时候，那对 Krishna 知觉可谓是一无所知了。
Meat eating is, that's really bad to get involved eating meat.
卷到吃肉和开荤的这件事上，这是非常不好的一件事。
You want to understand the basic philosophy. First of all, we have to understand we're not the body, but that we're all pure souls.
那我们首先还得从最基本的哲学开始，就是我们要明白，我们不是这个具躯体，我们是纯粹的灵魂。
And we can awaken our spiritual nature by chanting the holy name.
我们通过唱诵圣名，唤醒我们的灵性本性。
You have to have some faith, however, in the chanting of the holy name.
您必须要对唱诵圣名有信心。
You should have faith, first of all, that the vegetarian diet is the proper food for the human body.
素食才是人类的正确的食物。
A devotee would rather starve than have to eat meat.
一位奉献者，宁愿饿死也不会开荤。
To eat meat, you have to think about the animals. Don't you care about animals? Don't you like animals?
要是吃肉的话，那么那一定会涉及那些可怜的动物。那难道你不喜欢、不怜爱那些可爱的动物吗？
When you think about meat, you should think about where the meat comes from, that it comes from the animals. Animals are living entities.
一想到吃肉，那你就要考虑一下，这肉从哪里来的？肉是从动物身上来的，而这些动物它们也是活生生的生物。
We have to understand what is the proper food for the human being.
我们需要明白，就是对于人类而言，人类应该吃些什么食物。
If you eat animals, then your body becomes like a graveyard for the dead animals.
倘若是吃肉、吃荤食的，那么你这个躯体呢，就会成为动物的坟场。
The human body has teeth which are meant for chewing grains and eating vegetables. The teeth in the human body are not meant for eating meat.
人类的牙齿是用来咀嚼谷物和蔬菜的，并不适合咀嚼那个肉食。
We don't have the teeth like a dog or like a tiger.
人类的牙齿，人类没有像狗、犬类和老虎这样的尖锐的牙齿。
Our teeth are flat. They're more meant for chewing and for grinding food. We're meant to eat grains and vegetables and fruits.
人类的牙齿是平的，就是更适合咀嚼，更适合这种就是研磨，所以这样的牙齿呢是适合谷物、蔬菜和水果。
And the intestines in the human body are also designed in a way which make it easier for us to eat vegetables and grains and fruits.
而人类的内脏，它们的这种构造的设计也是为了消化谷物、蔬菜、水果。
When you eat meat, then you get much more diseases than you do when you have a vegetarian diet.
如果是肉食的话，比那个就吃素，他们更容易生病。
Of course, you have to learn how to cook nice vegetarian meals.
当然了，你要好好的学习怎么烹饪素食。
You don't want to just cook only some green leaves and some rice.
不要只是在那里煮一些大米饭，然后炒点青菜。
So you have to understand what is proper food. If you eat meat, then you get a lot of heavy karma from that. But when you eat vegetables, you can offer that to Krishna and you don't get any karma.
另外呢，我们要知道什么是正确的食物。如果是吃肉，会得到很重的业力，但是烹饪的素食却可以拿来供奉 Krishna， 这个是无业力的食品。
So you want to avoid karma, and you can do that by having a vegetarian diet.
谁要是想避免业力的话，那么就需要吃这个素食。
But if you eat meat, then you're asking for a lot of problems.
如果是开荤吃肉，那么就会招来许多的恶业。
We come to Krishna consciousness to stop, to get free of problems, not to create problems.
吃肉会招致许多问题。我们之所以来到 Krishna 知觉呢，就是为了停止这些问题，摆脱这些问题。但是如果吃肉，就会创造新的问题。
So please consider carefully before you do anything like that.
所以呢，在我们做事之前，可要三思而后行啊。
So somebody's having difficulty to get taste in the holy name, they need to get better association.
谁要是在品尝圣名方面呢，没有在唱诵圣名的时候缺乏品味，他需要得到更好的联谊，更高的联谊。
And you can get good association just by chanting. Just try to chant yourself from the heart.
而您可以通过发自内心的来念诵圣名，从中得到更好的联谊。
All right. So I'm very sorry to hear this, Shruti Rupa. I'm very sorry to hear this. This is very serious. So please keep me informed. If I can help anyone there, let me know.
那古鲁说，舒提舒克马达奇，他听您这么反应，就觉得很难过。所以，如果那边有人需要帮助的话，那么就可以告诉古鲁。第二个问题，香香，明白古鲁玛拉，梵文很有力量，很多奉献在学梵文，花时间背梵文诗节。我身边也有这样的奉献者，花很多时间背，还不如多念诵、多读经典、多听课。但他认为每天背诗节也是服务，和读经典一样，背梵文诗节有力量。这种说法对吗？这可能是他们促进灵性进步的修习方式，我不该评判，对吗？请古鲁指导。This question is from Xiang Xiang. She paid obeisance to Guru Maharaj, and she said, many devotees now are learning Sanskrit and spending a lot of time reciting Sanskrit shloka. I felt better to chant more, listen classes and read scripture. But these devotees think it is also a service and is equal to reading scripture, and it is more powerful to recite shloka. Is this right opinion?
Well, everything depends on the attitude in which you do these activities.
一切都取决于我们做这些活动的时候的心态。
Just like somebody may learn a sloka, and they may not know what the meaning of the sloka is.
有的人他们在学这个梵文诗节的时候，可能对内容一无所知。
So you learn a sloka, but you don't know the meaning. It's not going to be very much good for you.
倘若在不了解意思的情况下学习这些诗节的话，没有太大的好处。
You have to learn how to use the sloka. You have to understand the meaning of the sloka and you have to be able to use it.
这些诗节，梵文诗节，不仅要理解它们的意义，还要加以实践。
It's nice, you're reading the Bhagavad Gita, you're memorizing the verses of Bhagavad Gita. It's not bad, but we want you also to understand how you can make proper use of this knowledge.
背诵国家梵歌的诗节不是坏事，但是我们希望，奉献者更加了解，但是运用这些诗节。
So you can learn slokas, but you also have to read. You don't just only learn slokas and not read. You still have to read the books.
一方就在学习诗节的时候，也不能忘记读书，同时还要读书。
So you have to read the books and you have to chant the holy name, and you have to also, you can learn slokas also, it's okay. We don't say only learn slokas, but you have to do other things as well.
就是不能只是在那里一味的背诗节，还是要念诵圣名其他的事情。She said that
What?
香香 said that maybe she shouldn't judge others. Maybe it is a way that they are making spiritual progress. She shouldn't make any judgment to their behavior. She wants you to guide her.
Yes, you don't want to be critical of others. Don't worry about other people. You take care of yourself.
您说的对，就是不要对别人指手画脚、评头论足的。你就担心自己就好了，要关心自己，关注自己。
You do your own devotional service.
每个人做自己的奉爱服务。
Different people are inspired to do different services for Krishna.
不同的奉献者，他们得到不同的激励，该如何为 Krishna 做服务？
Some people are inspired to learn slokas. Some people are inspired to learn to play the instruments. Some people are inspired to learn cooking.
有的奉献者受到激励去背梵文诗节，有的奉献者得到的激励是去学习乐器，还有的奉献者得到的激励是去学习烹饪。
So everyone is inspired to do some service for Krishna in different ways.
所以不同的奉献者，他们得到的不同的激励，去为 Krishna 做各种服务。
Everyone has their own nature. So according to their nature, they're inspired to serve Krishna in a particular manner.
每个人都有各自的本性，所以是根据他们的本性得到激励，以特定的方式来服务 Krishna 的。
Yes, so you're right. Don't be critical of others.
您说的很正确，不要对别人就有这种评判心理。
Just keep yourself engaged. Krishna consciousness.
只是让你自己在 Krishna 知觉当中忙个不停就好了。
Okay, yes?
下一个问题是， vivo 9
Who?
顶拜 Guru vivo S 9 This is not the Sanskrit name, only the cell phone
Okay.
automatically.
Okay. 问题是什么？
有 Krishna 的挂历到年底怎么处理？他问怎么处理？到年底就这一年结束之后挂历怎么处理 ？Krishna 的画像的挂历。
Okay. What to do with Krishna's calendars after the year is over? So, well, what you can do is, you can cut the pictures out if you like, and you can stick them on your wall.
您可以把这个挂历上的这个图片给剪下来，贴在您的家里的墙上。
Now, some people, actually nowadays we can also get the calendar on the handphone. You don't need to get the hard copy of the calendar.
现在呢，当代就是在手机上就可以得到这些日历了。就是当代呢，如果手机上就可以得到这些日历，就不需要这些纸质的日历。
If it's a problem for you to dispose of it every time, then just get the soft copy.
如果就是您处理这个日历这件事情上有问题的话，那么您就是有电子版的日历就好处理了。
But if you have a lot of old pictures and things, then what you can do, you can always bury them into the ground.
如果您家里有很多那种老的那些画片呢、图片呢，您的做法是，您可以把它们埋在地下。
Yeah, put them back because they're made from paper, so the paper came from the earth, so you put the pictures back into the ground.
因为这些挂历、这些图片是用纸质的，而这些纸是从树木是从土壤、大地生长出来的树木，是来自于大地，所以让它们再回归大地。
If you have a garden, you can do that.
如果你有花园，就可以这样去做。
If you don't have a garden, then what to do? Then just keep them till they get old, and gradually they'll go back. They'll become older and older, and one day you can put them into the sea or something.
如果您家里没有花园，在这种情况下呢，您就是把这些就保存着，让它们越来越旧，保存着越来越旧，直到有一天呢，您就把它们放在大海里。
Okay.
好，下一个问题是来自于仆人，顶拜孤日莲花组，顶拜所有贡献者。物质世界是 Parvati 管理还是主 Shiva 管理？ This devotee is asking who is in charge of the managed material world, Lord Shiva or Lord Parvati Mother?
Well, they're one family, you know. They work together, Lord Shiva and Parvati.
他俩人是一家人，他们是互相合作。
And so, Parvati, yes, she's she's also very powerful. She's responsible for service, and she works under the direction of the Supreme Lord.
那个 Parvati 母亲是非常有力量的，她也是有责任的，而她是在至尊主的指导之下来行使职责。
So along with Lord Shiva, they're together, Parvati and Lord Shiva. We can't separate them.
Parvati 母亲和主 Shiva 他俩是在一起的，他们是不可分开的。
You cannot say Parvati is in charge. Lord Shiva is also there. Where there's Parvati, then Lord Shiva will also be there.
你不能说是 Parvati 母亲在那里主管着，主 Shiva 也是一直在那里的，哪里有 Parvati 哪里就有 Shiva。
Right? Just like the woman gives birth, but she can't give birth without the help of her husband.
就像女子，妇女是怀孕生孩子，但是没有丈夫的她不可能怀孕。
So, the same way, Mother Parvati, she can't do anything without Lord Shiva.
所以，母亲 Parvati 没有主 Shiva 的话，Parvati 母亲她是一事无成。
Of course, it's the mother who gives birth. The husband doesn't give birth. In the same way, the material world comes about from Mother Durga.
当然了，是一个母亲她诞生，她是孩子的出生。同样的，这个物质世界是来自于 Parvati 母亲。
The mother is the one to carry the baby, give birth. And the same way, Mother Durga, she is very much involved with the material world, with the creation.
就像一名妇女，她会在子宫里就怀着孩子，之后呢，把这名孩子诞生出来。同样的，多尔艮女神呢，跟物质世界的创造呢，它是这个是密不可分的。
Okay.
Okay.
No more questions?
Yeah, there are still some questions. The next one is like from Nityananda Ram. Hare Krishna 顶拜故日莲花族，顶拜奉献者，请问冒犯的标准是什么？如果自己感觉是冒犯了别人，对方不认为，是否还存在冒犯呢？还是主 Krishna 来判断某个行为是否是冒犯？This devotee, he is asking, what's the standard of offense? If I feel I offend others, but the others don't feel offended, is it still offense? Or it is Lord Krishna who judge which deed, which behavior is offensive?
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
Nityananda Rama does ask, if I feel I offend others, but the other devotee don't feel he is offended. Under the circumstances, am I offending the others?
Well, are you intentionally trying to offend them?
那就是说，就是您自己感觉冒犯别人，别人不认为主动冒犯，那么在这种情况下，是不是您在有意冒犯别人呢
Yeah, if your intention is to offend people, then it's an offense.
如果是您故意的，那么就是冒犯的。
And we have to consider also, what about what did you actually say? If they take offense, if they're offended, if they're offended by you, then it's a problem.
还得考虑您到底是说的什么话。如果他们确实就觉得这是个冒犯，那就是个问题了。He said the others don't take it as an offense.
They don't take it as an offense. But did he have the intention to offend them?
那您是主动的在有意的是冒犯别人吗？I think he is not. There's no intention.
And they don't take
He says he feels he had offended others.
He feels he had offended others.
Yes.
Well, then you have to try to serve the devotees.
那就是您感觉冒犯别人，然后对方不觉得冒犯。那在这种情况下，你要努力的去服务别人。
By serving the devotees, then you can nullify your offenses.
您通过服务奉献者就可以抵消中和冒犯了。
If you serve them nicely, they will please. If you please them, they will give their blessings to you.
您好好的服务他们，使得他们满心欢喜，他们就会祝福你。
So, just always try to be the servant of the devotees.
要永远努力去做奉献者的仆人。
Yes, it's good you're worried about offending the devotees. We don't want to offend devotees.
是的，就是您担心冒犯了奉献者，这个想法是，这种担心是好的，因为我们不想冒犯奉献者。
And so you simply always try to serve the devotees and to please them.
所以您就是一味的去服务奉献者，去取悦他们就好了。
Generally, we offend the devotees, we criticize them for different faults. We criticize, for example, their birth, or we criticize some of their past activities.
通常我们就是批评奉献者，因为他们以前犯过错误，他们以前做出过他们以前的活动，我们就为此而批评他们。
So always try to praise the devotees and to appreciate them and give service to them.
要永远的始终的赞美奉献者，永远始终的欣赏奉献者，永远始终的服务奉献者。
Then you won't have to worry about offending them.
这样就不用总是担心冒犯是不是冒犯奉献者了。
All right.
Next one is from Darcy. 不吃肉，为了履行家庭责任，给家人做肉，能起敌吗？
Oh. Well, different people have different standards for this.
不同的人对此有不同的标准。
Now, some spiritual masters, they don't want their disciples cooking meat.
有的灵性导师不喜欢门徒去烹煮肉食。
If you're cooking meat, then you're going to get karma for it.
倘若是烹煮肉食的话，为此要承受 karma 业报。
You don't think that you can cook meat and you won't get karma. You will get karma.
不要以为烹煮肉食就没有业报了，烹煮肉食将得到业报。
So if you're in the situation that you have to cook meat at home for people and there's no other way you can avoid it, then you have to understand that your devotional service is not very pure.
如果您现在这种处境当中，就是在家中没办法不可避免的要烹煮肉食的话，那您要明白自己的处境，就是说您的奉献服务不是纯粹的奉献服务。
Some spiritual masters, they don't mind.
有些灵性导师不在乎。
They may not know that you're cooking meat, and maybe you never told them that you're cooking meat, and they don't ask you.
他们可能不知道您在做肉，您也没有告诉他们在做肉，而且他们这些灵性导师，他们没有主动问这件事儿。
But we should understand it's not the business of a devotee to cook meat.
但是我们要明白，去做烹煮肉食可不是奉献者要做的事儿。
So, in that situation, I would suggest that somebody is coming for initiation, that they have to wait longer before they get initiation.
在这种就是布玛尔他的建议是说，倘若在这种情况下，有的人来寻求启迪，那么他们就需要等待的时间要更长，在他们得到启迪之前，他们需要再多等一段时间。
You have to understand this is, somebody has that karma, that they're in that situation, so this is their karma.
所以要明白的一点就是说，谁处在这种境况之下呢？这是他的个人的业报导致的，他处在这种困境下。
Now there are many devotees, they have that situation. We know it's common situation. But in China, we see that it's common for the men also to cook. The woman may want to be a vegetarian, but it's also quite common that the husband also likes, he will also cook. So if he wants to eat meat, then the woman should be able to tell the husband, you know, you cook meat for yourself. You cook for yourself, I don't want to cook meat for you. If you're cooking for your father, then it's another problem.
就在中国呢，有个现象，就是男人也下厨，所以倘若丈夫想吃肉的话，这个女子那个是素食的，她可以告诉丈夫自己去做。她向丈夫表明她不想做肉的这种态度。但倘若这个女子的父亲又要吃肉的话，这也是一个问题了。
So you can tell your father that better you go and buy outside. Go and eat, but purchase the meat outside. You can.
那这个女子呢，她可以告诉自己的老父亲，如果你要吃肉的话，你就在外面买。
But the real problem is because you're not a very good cook. That's why people want to eat meat. Because you don't cook nicely, and you can't satisfy them.
但真正的问题关键就在于你自己不是一个好厨师，他们就想吃肉，你没有好好的做饭，满足他们的胃口，使得他们要吃肉。
So we try to educate people how to cook nice food, nourishing, healthy, nutritious food.
所以我们努力的教育人们该怎么成为一个大厨，做出又营养又美味可口的素食。
Okay.
This devotee is asking, what about Srila Prabhupada's opinion on this?
Srila Prabhupada, his whole life, never ever ate meat. He never cooked meat, he never ate meat.
Will Srila Prabhupada agree that that devotee carry out the family duty and cook meat for family member, and can they get initiated?
I don't know.
这点我不知道。
The situation never arose.
就这种情况，当时是没有出现过这种情况。
But I remember one time, one man came to the temple and he asked Prabhupada to come to his home, to visit his home. So Prabhupada asked him, do you cook meat in your home? And the man said, yes, sometimes we cook meat. Then Prabhupada said, then I will not come to your home.
但是我记得有一次，有一位男子，他恳求帕布帕德拜访他的家，帕布帕德就问这位男子，在他的家里头是不是做肉？这位男子就承认有的时候做。帕布帕德的回答是：那我就不去你家了。
Okay.
Chaitanya Charan Hare Krishna Dimai Gurudev 黄金年代没有邪恶，那时人想着主为主服务，可不可以说黄金年代跟灵性世界一样呢？ In the Satya Yuga, there is no evilness. Everybody is thinking about the Lord, serve the Lord. Can we say that the Satya Yuga is equal as good, is equal as spiritual world?
Well, it's not exactly equal to the spiritual world.
黄金年代跟灵性世界不完全一样，不是一模一样的。
Yeah, people in the Satya Yuga, they had their good qualities.
黄金年代的人们有好的品质，
But cannot say that everyone was a pure devotee.
但是不能说每个人黄金年代的人人都是纯粹奉献者。
Just because it's Satya Yuga, they live a long time, okay, they follow the 4 principles, but doesn't mean everybody is a devotee.
萨铁年代、黄金年代的人们确实很长寿，也遵守思想原则，但是不能说黄金年代人人都是奉献者。
There were also some demons in the Satya Yuga.
在黄金年代也有恶魔存在着。
Okay.
Shruti Rupa Devidasi said, okay, thank you, Guru. Next one is a comment from Sumuki Radha Dasi. She said that, as 据我所知，这位梵老师是文达文的奉献者 Radhanaswami 门徒，在梵文教学中以传播为目的，很多新人被吸引进来。师节的学习也围绕经典进行细致解释，背诵是老师的要求，以促进奉献者能够更专注于认真学习。很多人在老师的鼓励带领下进步非常大，每天清晨大家一起念诵圣名，确实感受到梵文的力量。Sumuki Radhadasi said that explained that the Sanskrit teacher who teach sloka to devotee, this teacher lives in Vrindavan and a disciple of Srila Radhanaswami, and he carried out the program to teach Sanskrit sloka in order to spread Krishna consciousness, and many new devotees are attracted. And he also explained about the scripture according to Shastra. And this teacher demanded the students to recite shloka to promote their attentiveness in their study. And under the guidance of the teacher, many new devotees are encouraged and to make progress, and every morning, early morning, everybody get up to chant the holy name together on the Zoom.
Okay, very good. So I hope they'll keep it up for their whole life.
那非常好，那希望他们一辈子都这样坚持。
Okay.
下一个问题是来自于学会 Hare Krishna 顶拜 Guru， 请问如果将要起敌的人，家人知道我们信神，但家人改不了吃肉，这人能起敌吗？If we want to get initiated, but our family member know we worship God, but our family member still they eat meat. They have the habit. Under the circumstances, can we get initiated?
Well, if you, like I say, you don't want to be cooking meat. You don't want to be touching meat. You don't want to be cooking the meat. You don't want to be buying the meat. You don't want to be serving the meat.
就刚才说过，就是那您自己不要做肉，您自己就是不要碰这个荤食啊，去买呀，然后给那个家人端这些食物荤的。The next one.
And we should use different pots. If a pot is cooked meat in, if they've cooked meat in that pot, you don't want to use that pot to cook for Krishna.
我们还要跟家人分餐具，就是他家人用来煮荤食的这个锅，我们也不能拿来为 Krishna 做，我们要用单独的锅为 Krishna 做饭。
Yes.
下一个是来自S1112 Hare Krishna 顶拜，请问 Guru Maharaj Krishna 把博伽梵歌最早传给太阳神，太阳神传给 Manu 传给 Ikshvaku。问题是 Ikshvaku 是太阳王朝，怎么是地球 国王有点不清楚，怎么是地球的国王？
She should teach you to go on.
他没有说，他说，伊克巴库，the question is about King Ikshvaku belong to the Solar dynasty. How is that Ikshvaku is the king of the earth?
Well, Manu is already the father of mankind, right? Manu is here. And Ikshvaku, he's connected to Manu. Manu is the son of Swami Narada. Vivishwan Manave Prahur Manu Ikshvakabe Bravit. So Vivishwan gave it to Manu, Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. So Vivishwan gave it to Manu, the father of mankind. Manu was on this planet, he's on earth. Ikshvaku also was on the earth planet.
Vivaswan Manu.
The sun god.
Yes.
The sun god gave the knowledge to Manu.
太阳神把这门知识传授给人类的始祖 Manu。
And Manu gave it to Ikshvaku.
Manu 呢又将它传授给了 Ikshvaku。
So how did the sun god give it to Manu? Manu was on this planet and sun god is up on the sun planet.
太阳神是在太阳星球上，而 Manu 呢是在地球上，居住在地球上。
But the sun god was able to give the knowledge to Manu. Just like he gives the light, the rays, the heat from the sun goes everywhere. The same way he's giving the knowledge. He gave the knowledge to Manu.
就像太阳可以把阳光，通过阳光把热量和光芒散布到全宇宙，同样的，太阳神他也把这门知识也散布给像 Manu 这样的人。
Lord Ramachandra comes in the line from Ikshvaku.
主 Ramachandra 就是 Ikshvaku 这个传系当中的这个家系当中的。
So they were all on this planet a long time ago.
所以在很久以前。 历史上，他们都曾经在这个星球之上。
Yes.
下一个问题是：闻言，禀拜 Guru 和所有奉献者，家里只有我一个人修习风爱瑜伽，会是呢只觉得挂历。 照片能分开在家里挂吗？会不会对照片上的神像形成冒犯呢 ？She said, "In my family, only I practice Bhakti Yoga. Can I put the picture and the calendar of Krishna separately in the house? Will there be any offense to the deity in the?" On the picture calendar.
No. No offense. Just take care of it nicely. Just keep it safe. Keep Krishna's picture safe.
没有冒犯，只是需要小心的保管他们，让他们安全，让 Krishna 的照片，就是在一个安全的地方。
And if you have difficulty to keep it somewhere safe, then just keep it wrapped in a piece of cloth.
如果您不能让他们安全的保管他们，就把他们包在布里边，用个布包起来。
And the cloth will protect the picture and keep it clean and safe.
这个布呢，就能保护这些照片，让这些照片清洁和安全。下一个是 S。Guru 和 Krishna 的照片怎么办呢 ？Guru 的照片旧了，也埋在土里吗？
Yeah, bury it. Yeah, you can bury it also.
可以，也可以埋在土里。Harivansa，顶拜Guru荣耀归帕帕的妻子带孩子忙，勉强念16圈，现在参加6个月固定的网络阿育吠达学习，经常完不成圈，作为丈夫怎么劝说呢？ He said, Harivansa said that my wife is very busy taking care of the children. Can just finish her 16 rounds. Now she is learning Ayurveda on the internet and cannot finish her rounds. As husband, what can I say to her?
Well, she's very stupid. If she cannot finish her 16 rounds, she cannot be learning Ayurveda.
她特别愚蠢。如果她连16圈都念不完，她不应该去学阿育吠达。
She has to finish her 16 rounds. It's the most important.
她必须得完成16圈，这是最重要的。
Who's teaching her Ayurveda?
谁在教她阿育吠达呢？
Where's she learning this Ayurveda from?
那她的阿育吠达老师是谁？
Anyway, this is not the real business of devotee. The real business of the devotee is to chant Hare Krishna. After you finish 16 rounds, then you can think about your Ayurveda. But don't learn Ayurveda until you finish 16 rounds.
郭医生，哦 ，He said 郭医生 ，Dr. 郭。
Go Ishan. Okay, I'm telling. She first has to finish her 16 rounds. Otherwise, she's not qualified to learn Ayurveda.
那Guru说，就是他首先得念16圈，如果念不了16圈，就没有资格去学阿育吠达。
Yes.
The final one.
Yeah.
最后一个学会感恩Guru，感恩翻译。我们在家里不做荤，一直分餐，每人都有自己餐具。我的老父亲平常给我们吃素，周末去市场买熟食，但是他钱是我们给的。This
So if
devotee,
you give money to buy meat, then you also get karma.
那你如果给他钱买肉，你也有业报。
What to do? It's very difficult to avoid karma.
要避免业报是很难。
Yeah, I know you're in that situation. You can't avoid it. You have to give the money. You have to give them the money. You have to do it. But still, there'll be some karma there, of course. But what can you do? You can only pray to Krishna. Pray to Krishna to protect you. That Krishna, please forgive me that I really, I really don't like to give money for him to go and buy meat, but I have no choice. I have no other way.
那您可以向 Krishna 祈祷，跟 Krishna 说 ，Krishna， 请原谅我吧，您保护我吧，我不喜欢给他钱买肉，但是我也没办法。
Sometimes it's like that. You can't avoid these things. Many things we're going to get karma. So what we can do, we have to pray to Krishna to really help us and protect us. And you have to really chant the holy name and cry in the heart that I'm very unfortunate.
所以就是在这种就是许多情况下，我们不能避免业报 karma， 我们只能祈求 Krishna 帮助保护，然后我们唱诵圣名，哭着唱诵圣名，在内心哭泣。我太不幸了，我只能这么做。
Yeah, you have duties, you have responsibilities, you have to give money to people, they depend on you. And so you give them the money and they take the money and then they go and use it like that, to buy drink or something, yeah. To buy alcohol or buy cigarettes or buy meat. What can you do? What you can do, one thing you can do is you ask them, please, don't buy cow meat. Because if you eat cow meat, that's the most sinful thing.
因为我们的职责所在呢，我们必须得掏钱给我依靠我们的人，让他们去买肉食啊，或者是烟酒之类的。那我们有一件事是可以做的，就是我们恳求他们，如果你买肉的话，你千万别买牛肉。
Yeah, because the cow is the most sacred animal. Cow is the mother.
母牛就像我们的母亲，是神圣的。
So at least you can get them to respect the cow.
您就这样恳求他们，至少让他们可以尊重母牛。
All right? So, vamos, 在这里结束. Huh?
Okay.
Okay,
She said thank you.
Thanks to
哎呦
God.
there's still more what to do.
What? Question?
文言，碰过蛋的餐具还能给 Krishna 用吗？就是以后再不碰这个鸡蛋了，但是以前碰过，还可以用吗？
Well, we shouldn't use it for Krishna, no.
She said she guaranteed never to use it again to touch it. And can we still use it for Krishna?
Use the pan. Use what?
Maybe cooking pot.
Yeah, well, the pot, if you used it to cook things in, well, you used it to cook eggs, it's not very good. You have to really clean it very carefully. To really clean it, you have to get cow dung, and you have to use the cow dung to clean it, and then you have to wash it very carefully. You can't just use chemicals. But You know, it's up to you to decide what standard you want to do. You have to decide for yourself what is your standard going to be. If you cannot.
Sorry, Maharaj, we cannot hear your voice.
Really, you cannot hear my voice.
I'm too careful. Yes, I will translate. 那个学会马达吉，这就是学您的标准。就是您要用的话，也要用牛粪，很小心的清洁，也不能用那个洗涤灵洗洗就算了。而且这个就取决于您自己了这件事儿。And next one is 悠悠云。
Yes. Okay. Chabudra. That's about it. Yeah. You have to decide. She has to decide. If she cannot get another pot, then she'll have to use it.
那如果您找不着别的锅了，不得不用的话，就刚才那样去做。
Okay.
16圈没念完，但该联谊了，读书了。是先念还是先读书？
先念. First read. First chant and then read. You have to chant your 16 rounds.
那您得先念16圈。She said it's time to associate with devotee and read book with devotee, but we still haven't finished. Should we first channel? Because it's time.
Are you going to finish your rounds in the day?
那取决于您这白天是不是能把16圈念完。
If you cannot finish your rounds in the daytime, then you cannot listen to the class in the morning.
如果您这一天您念不完16圈，那您的早课您先别听的。
But you have to finish your 16 rounds.
但是您必须得完成16圈。Harivansa said that it's Gita Gamya Mataji.
I know.
She want to learn Ayurveda to become healthy and to chant nicely.
But she's not chanting.
可是您学了，你也没念诵，没完16圈。
She's just learning Ayurveda. She's sacrificing her chanting time to learn Ayurveda.
因为您把念诵的时间用来去学阿育吠达了。
这是他的借口，他不想念诵，他想学习 Ayurveda， 他不愿意念诵，借口。我没有时间念诵，我要学习 Ayurveda。
他借口，他不想念诵，他就说我没时间念诵了，因为我在学习阿育吠达。
OK， 我们今天结束。
OK。
感谢 Guru Mani， 感谢所有的奉献者聆听。Hare Krishna， Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai。
Jai。